Now, a few weeks back, you'll remember we tested the Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross Turbo, which turned out to be a very good car. And this week, we've been handed the keys to the facelifted ASX. But I'm on Mitsubishi's website now, and I've noticed that between the Eclipse Cross Turbo and the ASX top of the range, there's only 60,000 Rand between them. The question is the ASX 60,000 Rand less of a car, or is it perhaps the bargain buy in the Mitsubishi range? Let's find out. So where does the ASX fit in? Well, it is the entry point into Mitsubishi's SUV lineup, which means it sits below the Outlander and the Eclipse Cross. But this is the facelift, so let's discuss what's changed. So when you think facelift, naturally you're going to think of design changes on the outside. That is exactly what's happened with this new ASX. Most notably is this dynamic shield design, which are styling cues that are carried over in modern Mitsubishi products. Personally, I like the way these cars look. What I do really like is this LED housing design, which overall gives the car more of an aggressive look. At the rear, it's the ASX that we've come to know and love, with the only major change being these revised LED taillights and the inclusion of a faux carbon diffuser? Okay. On the inside, I do like how Mitsubishi has executed this cabin. You don't get the sense that they're trying too hard. There's a nice variety of materials and everything feels good to touch, except for this bit here. If I compare this with the Eclipse Cross, you do lose out on a more modern infotainment system and head-up display, but you do gain this.
Even though that touchscreen is a bit outdated, we're still pleased it comes equipped with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Other features include a leather-trimmed multifunction steering wheel and cruise control. Unfortunately, this is where the list of features ends. Competitors who warrant similar money have slick infotainment systems, digital gauge clusters, active safety features, premium audio systems, and the list goes on. Those are quite a few boxes left unticked, and better value can certainly be had elsewhere in the segment. With that being said, at least the ASX does benefit from the typical build quality and sturdiness you associate from the brand.
So in this vehicle, we have a 2-litre normally aspirated engine mated to a 6-step CVT gearbox. This car produces 110 kilowatts and 197 newton meters of torque. Now I know what you're thinking, those figures sound uninspiring, but I must say, for the everyday commute, this car does the job. Power delivery in this car is quite instant, and you never really feel like you're straining the engine unless you really put your foot flat, and then you get the typical CVT whine that we're accustomed to. But in comparison to the Eclipse Cross, you do really miss that turbocharged engine. You know, you kind of miss that shove of the torque that you feel from the turbochargers. The usual issue we face when it comes to CVT gearboxes and normally aspirated engines is fuel consumption. Mitsubishi claims a 7.9-litre combined cycle for this car, but after some time driving, we're now averaging 13.5 litres, which is nearly double that figure. And that's where the difference comes in when it comes to turbocharging. Because the power comes in the lower RPMs, you end up not straining the engine as much, subsequently using less fuel. So when it comes to fuel economy, you're much better off with a turbocharged vehicle. One thing that's to note about this car is that it is more comfortable than the Eclipse Cross. The Eclipse feels more sporty, whereas this feels more family friendly. So overall, the facelifted Mitsubishi ASX is a good car, But if we go back to the question we asked in the beginning, is it 60,000 Rand less of a vehicle compared to the Eclipse Cross? I'm afraid so. The Eclipse Cross is a bigger car, has got more modern technologies, and a much nicer engine. And one thing we need to remember is that this car has been on sale for nearly a decade. So if we were to advise you, if you've got the extra 60,000 Rand, definitely go for the Eclipse Cross. But you don't even have to spend more than 60,000 Rand. For an extra 10 grand, you can get the baseline Eclipse Cross, which has the exact same engine and gearbox that this car has. So whichever way you look at it, the Eclipse Cross wins.